Hello again, and welcome back. In this session, I would like to introduce you to some items to help you in your projects. I would like to discuss mobility scooters and electric wheelchairs. And with this information, hopefully you can better decide which way your project will be built. Okay, so with that, let's get started. And just a reminder, this channel is to help you help others by hopefully seeing what I have come up with, and you could make it better or similar for those who are physically challenged or seniors in need of assistive devices. First of all, let me explain the differences between the two. The mobility scooter is for someone who is still somewhat mobile, but just needs assistance. Someone who can get out and in of the device and give them freedom to move around. While an electric wheelchair, although similar, involves controlling the device with a joystick. The electric wheelchair is more convenient for people who are a little less mobile. The difference between the two, if you're still able, then it's like driving a car and offers independence while the wheelchair is a little less accessible to jump in and out. The mobility scooter is generally a one-motor drive unit using a transaxle, while the wheelchair has two motors which allows you to rotate the chair 360 degrees in one spot. But having two motors uses a bit more energy from the batteries. I would like to discuss the difference between a Class 2 and a Class 3 mobility scooter so you can decide which type of unit you wish to use for your project. The Class 2 scooter is generally smaller, has a smaller motor, average about 200 watts on the transaxle. The unit is able to come apart to fit into the back of a car. Most of the ones I had a chance to work on had solid rubber tires or foam-filled tires and usually small wheels, about 4 to 6 inch, some a bit larger and some smaller. The ride is rough and mostly designed for asphalt roads, while the Class 3 units have larger tires and air-filled for a smoother ride. The motor on the Class 3 is a higher wattage, around 350 and up, and the unit can carry more weight and generally does not come apart easily, if at all, but can go on gravel. You may need a device to lift the unit into a minivan. The Class 2 is usually regulated to a speed of 5 miles per hour or less, or 8 kpm, while the Class 3 has a set point to 8 miles per hour, or 12 kpm. The Class 2 usually has a headlamp and tail LGATs, while the 2 does not, but both units have electric brakes. An added note is the Class 3 mobility scooter often has spring suspension on the transaxle for smoother ride along with the air tires front and back. The scooter also comes in a 3-wheel or 4-wheel, where the 3-wheel turns easier but is less stable than the 4-wheel unit. As for the wheelchairs, they're my favorite to create projects with. They do not have steering, but do have two independent drive motors controlled by a joystick and often also have electric brakes. They also come in Class 2 and Class 3. Although the differences are minor, but the larger units are designed for stability. They come in a front drive, middle drive, and rear drive with full suspension, and some come with seats that lift the person up and out of the chair. The Class 2 units again have more firmer tires and smaller motors, but they can be taken apart to go into the back of a car, while the Class 3 is designed 100% with safety and stability in mind, and they may have up to 4 caster wheels for stability. Since we are repurposing the units, then all the information I gave you may not be relevant, but I felt you should know that the differences may make a big difference in what project you plan. Such is if you're going to make an automated lawnmower, then the wheelchair motors would be your best bet, and with air tires so the wheels do not spin, but could use knobby tires, which is what I did on mine. I used the Class 3 motors, which offered extra weight to the lawnmower and has enough power to take it up a hill, as you see in the video. You might ask, where will I ever use a mobility scooter drive? Well, you could replace the rear axle of a wagon and mount the axle there, so you can simply guide the wagon instead of pulling it. Please keep in mind that this is to help the physically challenged. I use my wagon to move tires from the backyard to the front for seasons and changes. Heavy things are easier for seniors to move. Your imagination will come with other devices to build. On another note, most mobility scooter and wheelchairs run on a voltage of 24-volt direct current, and power needed will depend on the size of the motors and how long we plan to run them at a time. Most of the motors are a brush-type motor, and the speed is controlled by a pulse width controller with electric brakes. If unsure what I am talking about, I explain it in the session where I build and explain the automated lawnmower, where I use a control better suited for that project. Also, many units house lead-acid heavy-duty batteries in my projects. I use lithium ferrous phosphate, which is lighter and lasts much longer than lead units. These are not the type that catch fire. I care about safety. I hope this information was useful to you, as the information is needed to understand why this channel is here and how we will help our challenged and elderly survive to have a happier life. Until we meet again, I am the Tinker.